what's your thoughts on being in a car club?
Stupid.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 3 of The Shed Podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Frank.
And we got a little late start, so we're coming to you on Friday instead of Thursday.
It's been a busy week, to say the least.
You know, we jumped into our own career here, own our own business now, but also trying to get a drag truck ready to possibly go to the drag strip.
Maybe this weekend?
Yeah. It'd be Friday, so this is Thursday late night, so It's going to be Friday night probably. But yeah, our apologies. But race car stuff always has to come first, right?
Always.
Okay.
And it's coming whether you want it to or not.
Yep. So since we've had the podcast last week, we finally got Brittany's Nova done.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, Jesus. That thing has been a pain in my side months.
Everybody's side.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of people help, and
there has. I mean,
and it's kind of been a pain in everybody's pain. God,
we've had 6 or 7 different people put hands on that thing at this point.
Oh yeah, valve cover one was leaking, then the other one started leaking. So then
and we thought the oil pan was leaking.
Oil pan was a pain to get it all off, and ended up not being the oil pan at all. It was just a sensor in the back.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oil pressure sensor might have been leaking the entire time.
Possibly.
We could have been done with this months ago. We've just been tracking down oil leaks, so it's all good. It's done. She hit up her first show.
Got her first trophy.
Got her first trophy with that car, so she was thrilled. But yeah, it was a good show. We went out to the Bill Call Auto Mall. Had their second annual, little custom car show.
It was a good turnout. I mean, to be their second show, and I mean, I don't know how much them guys get to go to car shows. I know some of them come to our shows and stuff, but it was a pretty good show. I mean, there's a couple of rides there I had never seen around here before.
That's what's nice about going to some different shows. It seems like every show pulls something different that's maybe even local, but you've never seen before, just because they got this little inside connection with somebody.
Yeah, that somebody that works there, his buddy lives in Greensboro, and next thing you know, you got a guy coming from other side of Virginia.
Yeah, so it was nice to see those cars. We also went out to North Fork. I thought it was Virginia, but it was West Virginia. It's in the county.
It's in the county.
Good Lord, it feels like Virginia.
It was Ekman Church, Methodist Church, United Church, something like that.
So we went out there. Pretty good little show there. The
East River guys was putting it on, and I mean they've supported us from the beginning.
They have. Love everybody in East River Street Rods.
Yep.
That is a really good car club community, and they put on a show down there.
It's a benefit show for the church, right?
It's to raise money for heat and AC for this church. So me and Frankie went down there as part of Madness in the Mountains and donated a trophy for our picks. We picked a car there.
Yep.
We also donated quite a bit of money to help that cause for the church. So
I mean, my mom's always been in church and stuff, and like growing up, I was constantly at a hot dog sale or bake sale or something.
And you gotta have little events like this sometimes to kind of get stuff done. So we was glad to go and kind of participate and kind of help out with that cause, and then we followed up by a big pig roast that night. So it was a good weekend for us. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. But we're going to jump into it, and then we're going to talk about shows coming up this weekend. So as you see here, Frankie kind of went all, hell, I don't even know what you call this, but he went kind of wild.
Hoping it works out.
He kind of went wild, got some pretty cool microphones here, so we kind of look official.
Still working on the setup a little bit, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
It's got to be better than just that iPhone propped up in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
So I had a guy reach out to me on Facebook.
Okay.
And he was talking about cruise-ins and stuff on weekdays, not weekends, weekdays, which kind of got me a little bit interested because I know that Lynn's Drive-In did one during the week several months ago, I believe. Really big turnout, but Lynn's always has a big turnout.
It's just pure nostalgia for them.
What's your thoughts on a weekday cruising?
Weekday. If we're talking summer, obviously summer, but we're talking no school summer, I don't mind it. Most people's off of work by 4 or 5 o'clock that evening anyways. Mm-hmm. I think Friday just makes more sense. But that being said, there's plenty of people out there, like middle of the week, they're going to ride their car. Mm-hmm. Like even if it's just a run down into town, grab an ice cream on a Wednesday night or whatever, they're going to ride their car. So I don't really have a problem with a weekday cruise in.
Yeah.
Show
can't be a show.
Show different story.
Yeah, show's different story.
But yeah, like if you're just going to do like say cruise in at such and such from 5 to 7 or 6 to 8 or whatever, yeah, I think you can have a decent turnout.
I think Fridays does great. I think Lynn's did it on like a Tuesday or a Thursday or something. I think it went really well for them just because of who they are.
Well, they've kind of been doing the cruise in thing for forever. What, decades?
If let's just say Hardee's or something had a cruise in on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know if it's going to get that response.
I think they would definitely have to push it harder.
You're going to have to push it. I still don't think it's as big as a Friday evening.
No, I don't think so.
Or Saturday. I think a cruise in for me is the best on a Friday. Just personally.
You've worked all week. You get off work. It gives you a chance to just kind of go unwind, but there's not that headache of being in a show.
Yeah.
It's something that a lot of people do anyways.
Mm-hmm. A lot of cruise-ins on Fridays.
Yep.
I think Lynn's was just blessed with who they are and what they do. They got such a big following and work for them. Mm-hmm. But, you typically have a Hardee's and Sonic cruise in
you
on
can go
Saturday, and it's pretty big. If they try to do that on a Monday or Tuesday, or nobody really needs to do it on Wednesday anyways, but if you did it on a Thursday, I don't think you got the same outcome as their Saturdays.
Well, the thing about Lynn's is you can drive by Lynn's at like 1 o'clock on a Tuesday, and you still run a pretty good chance of seeing a cool car sitting there. It's just, it's a drive-in. Like they just kind of go hand in hand. So they've just got a little bit more weight when it comes to, hey, let's do a cruise in next week.
I agree with that. Like I say, I think that's why it's did good. For me, I would probably be out during the week. But, like I say, some people might have great success with it. Mm-hmm. I know for me, getting off on a Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday,
I'm ready to go home.
I'm trying to get the kids ready for school.
Yep.
Even if it's in summertime, I'm just tired.
Well, you got people.
Lazy.
You got people that they get off work. Like my old lady, she gets off work at 5 o'clock. By the time she gets to the house, if a kid's got football practice or baseball practice, playing some kind of summer league, a Tuesday might not even be an option for us. Mm-hmm. So I think it works well sometimes, but not very often. I think if you're going to do a cruise in Friday and Saturday is your cruise in days.
I agree. I like Fridays and Saturdays. I really like Fridays. I wish there was more cruise ins in our area
on a Friday night.
Yeah, I like that. One thing that is becoming big within the car show, truck, really motorcycles, stuff like that is clubs.
Okay.
So, what's your thoughts on being in a car club?
Stupid.
You don't like them?
No.
What about truck club?
No.
Same thing.
No.
Car and truck club is the same thing. So
I don't think it's for me. For the simple fact, I don't think it's what I think it should be. Mm-hmm. I mean, not knocking it the way it is out there for some people. They love it. I don't think it's for me. Like, man, when I think of a club, it's just kind of like that bond. It's not just like, come to a couple shows a year and, here's your patch or your jacket or your sticker or whatever. Like, I think it should be more like a pig roast or something like that. Not a lot of them do it. It's not for me. Like, do I think it's like, if it's your thing, then it's your thing. I don't like it. I think it's a waste of time for me personally. And I don't like being obligated to it. Like, if I say, hey, I'm in this club, and then they're like, well, it's mandatory to come to this show. Well, what if I don't want to go to that show? What if I'm not big about, an asphalt parking lot in Texas in July or something like that? Like, what if I don't want to?
Yeah.
Why do I got to? I think that some people's good with the nostalgia of it, but I don't think it's worth the aggravation of being one. That's me personally. What about you? I know you used to be in a club. Like, where you at on it?
So,
sell it to me. Talk me into joining a car club.
All right. So I'll tell you the goods and the bads. I'm pro car club.
Okay.
If done right. Okay.
Fair enough.
So it's super awesome to have a group that you can just kind of hang out with, your kind of buddies, or you're getting to kind of know them. You guys travel, maybe to a show, it's an hour or two down the road. Mm-hmm. Go out to eat afterwards, yada, yada. Maybe even get a hotel. Everybody's just kind of hanging out, whatever. The downfall on a lot of clubs is you need that, I guess, camaraderie of just people expect, I guess, to hang out all the time. Mm-hmm. This is kind of new. This is fun. We're hanging out. And a lot of clubs, it's just a sticker, maybe. It's just, okay, you're in the club. We voted you in, or you've attended X amount of shows, so now you're in. As far as attending a show or two and then you're in the club, I don't think that really needs to be the case. I know it is the case with a lot of clubs, but I think...
So what, I go to a couple shows a year and I'm in a club?
You could
like
be
that simple, that easy?
In a year, yeah.
Like no dues, no nothing?
Yeah, some of them do, some of them don't. Like I say, every club's kind of different. Some look for progression within your vehicle.
Right.
Some, just you attend a couple meetings, and you're in. Some people don't even have meetings. They just meet at car shows. I think as far as car clubs in whole, it's a great thing. It kind of gets groups together, and that doesn't mean like I'm in this car club, but you're in this car club, and you're on our turf. We're going to burn your house down.
Used to be. That's back when they was fun.
See, that got you out of it, maybe, because they've came laid back.
So my question is,
I'm for it.
You've done a real bad job on selling it to me.
Well, okay.
So what you've told me so far is you and a bunch of guys can hang out at the hotel, but they're going to complain a lot while you're there. That's what you've got so far. They're not going to
complain. I'm just saying, car clubs and whole is a great thing to go out, hang out with your buddies, if done correctly. I do think that cookouts within the club or, maybe not even show-related events.
Well, let me ask you this. How often does this happen? I'm working on my truck. I'm in the club. I need, I don't know, say a new fender. I need a new fender. Y'all know me. I just can't do it. But that show's coming up next week. Or that show's coming up at the end of the month. I'd do it if I could, but I don't have the money right now. Light bills do, water bills do, whatever. I don't have the money to get this fender, get it painted. How often is that car club chipping in and getting me that fender?
Well, I will tell you 100% facts. Within like the older antique car clubs,
Okay.
it's probably not an option.
No.
We'll see on the next one. The only people I've really seen, and it doesn't matter if you're in their club, you're just in the scene, is the mini truck guys.
Yeah, but that's different. That's a different breed.
It is a different breed. But I've seen people that's in the club helping, and I've seen people that's in different clubs come and help out people just to get them to the show.
Yeah.
And they don't care if, it's not competition. It's just I want you to have fun too. The car club's awesome, ideal, sort of in the mini truck world, more than the classics.
I can see it. It makes more sense for mini truck guys.
Yeah.
Like just as an outsider looking in, an outsider of car clubs, an outsider of mini trucks, period. Looking in from what I've seen to the shows I've went to and stuff like that, there is more camaraderie at a mini truck show.
There is.
Or between mini truck guys. Now, I can't speak to it as, how close they are. Is it just man, I ain't seen you in forever?
Well,
let's go get something to eat.
It's more like a brotherhood. Really, in the whole mini truck community, they don't care if you're in such and such club and they're in this one. Let's go out and eat. Let's go hang out.
So if that's the case, why be in the club? Like if you're going to accept me with open arms anyways.
I don't know. Like I say, the mini truck world's kind of their own whole car club. As crazy as it seems, like you got these little pieces that's, different clubs.
That's their clique.
But it's their whole little, but I've never experienced something like that within like
classic cars.
The classic.
What about tuners?
Community.
Tuner guys a little more like that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I've never been in a tuner club, so to speak.
Well, I know you know. Well, I mean, I knew you had the Subaru and stuff like that, so you had to be around more of them guys.
I was around some of them, but I mean, it was like, hey, we'll give you this sticker, be in our club, kind of thing. I think the Jeeps do a killer job on car clubs. They have, some rides and stuff they go on. That seems kind of cool. Get the whole family kind of involved. The trucks and stuff. I don't know if that's whole family oriented. But they do meets and hangouts and stuff like that too. I just think the mini trucks, as far as car club, lays down a great foundation of how a lot of people should do it.
Okay.
Now, could they improve on some stuff? Certain groups, yeah, of course. Everybody could do something better. But as far as me, like, if I'm in a mini truck club or a car club, it's super nice, like, and it kind of gets resorted back to mini trucks. You go to big shows like Mini Truck Nationals, and you've got a row or two marked off for your club, and it's just your club and whatever. And then you'll have club, and then you'll have a bunch of spots over here, and that might just be, people, it's just whatever. And you go and you chat with them and you like them. Hey, what do you think about joining our club? What's involved in your club? Man, we go to these shows every year. We try to do this. You petition for a year or 6 months or 5 years or whatever. And you're in, and it just kind of works out. I've met a lot of good friends off of car clubs, to be honest with you.
I got you.
I've had enemies out of car clubs too. But it's kind of like a family thing.
Is it worth the aggravation?
Is it worth aggravation? I think so. Honestly.
Okay.
Let me tell you this.
Tell me why, because I'm dying to hear it.
So, it's kind of like a brotherhood. And sometimes you get super close really quick with certain people.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe you guys don't agree on something. Like, I mean, you're not agreeing on these car club thing right now.
Right.
So, we have a little spat about it. But it's like a couple days later, we're fine. You get over stuff super quick, but it's not like, well, Frankie just went out there and won a top 50 and I didn't win. You know, we're kicking him out or whatever. It's nothing but respect.
Right.
And a lot of these clubs, like, hey man, congratulations, glad you won. It's not, I didn't win, this is junk, I'll never be back to this show again. People says that. They don't need to be going to shows.
No Christmas parties.
Christmas parties are cool.
Do they have them? Like,
Yeah.
see,
a lot of clubs does.
From me looking in, like, I didn't know that they done anything like that, like a picnic or a Christmas party or whatever.
You know,
I thought y'all just kind of hung out. Maybe
I've been in clubs where they've had
maybe help
Christmas
each other
parties.
work on something from time to time.
Well, and that's a nice thing because
it.
you built this connection with whoever by going to shows or whatever, and you know you're posting up pictures, whatever. Well, hey, I'm needing this, you know, fitting for my air ride or for, you know, my carburetor on my old car or whatever, and you post it on Facebook or maybe in a text message chat with your club or whatever.
Right.
Eventually what's going to happen is you're going to have some people offer to help you. Whether you take it or not, that's your choice. It's nice to kind of have, you know, let's just say Andy Harmon, when he was building his Toyota, he was in extreme lows.
Yeah.
He was getting super close to Mini Truck Nationals and probably wasn't any kind of chance in hell that this truck was going to get ready.
If he was just working on it by himself in a garage.
But, you know, Kenny came and helped, and Nathan Wimmer was helping, and all kinds of people kind of chipped in from the club and was kind of getting him ready, rocking and rolling. That's cool. Don't care who you are. That's super cool. That's what a club should be.
At the same time, if he wasn't in that club, like you said yourself, these mini truck guys, they're kind of their own little clique. So in an area like ours, if he's not in the club, are they going to be like, he's never getting done with that thing?
No, I mean they would jump in.
So they would have come in and helped
if he's never attended shows and they didn't know who he was, I don't know. You never know. But they did know him, and he was in the club. Now, I don't know. I wasn't there when Andy was getting all his stuff built, but there could have been some outside help coming in with that.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Not sold.
I'm telling you, you need to be sold on the car clubs.
I don't know, man. Like, I can't see the point in it. Like, if me and you are buddies, right? Say you join a car club. Mm-hmm. Are you not going to help me anyways?
Yeah, I want to help you anyways.
All right, then. So, why do I need to be in it?
You get some awesome parking.
Okay.
Okay. We get to go do cool stuff together. Which, I mean, I guess you could still come anyways, but it'd be awesome to have you.
So I guess what it boils down to, I'm not the guy that the car club's looking for.
I got the cool hats and the cool shirts and jackets. And here you are. You know, you're just chilling in an old show shirt from 4 years ago.
I like my show shirt. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I guess I kind of get it.
They're not for everybody. But
are they what they was 40 years ago?
40 years ago?
40 years ago. I'm talking like heyday, like 50s, 60s, hot rodding, you know, street racing.
No.
Raising cane on the weekend.
Yeah,
like
it's not. But like,
okay.
So, and it's maybe like the diesel trucks. Maybe I don't have a diesel truck. I ain't in Now's club. Invite us out to one of these. truck club meetups.
What is all this about? Like, they're not trucks. They're not clubs.
Meetups. And let's just go see how it happens. I would say that the Raising Hell from the 50s and stuff is probably in that crowd.
So we need to be at Schul's, say, Saturday night, if that's what.
That ain't no diesel trucks. That's some real-time street racing stuff going on that night. Y'all don't know nothing about that. But, you know, I think the diesel trucks probably took something from that.
Right.
And that would probably be Raising Hell.
Okay.
As far as street racing and stuff like that goes from back in the day, a lot of people don't do that much club-wise anymore. Like, kind of, not really.
All right, everybody. We're not exactly sure what happened to the video feed, but if you can just hold tight, there's only a few minutes left of this week's podcast. We'll have everything straightened out by next week. I don't know. I think just like back then, there was a lot closer tie between like car club and bike club.
Well, yeah. So they're not like anything like that anymore.
Like 50s, 60s, here's your car club, bike club. By now, bike clubs went way over here. Car clubs went way over here.
Bike clubs are legit.
Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is there car gangs out there? Is that a thing?
I don't think it's...
I'm not sure that's a thing. But there's definitely biker gangs.
There is.
So I feel like somewhere there was a split in the road. And bikes chose fun. Car clubs chose not.
Well,
Right? Like, that's what we decided.
so maybe the bikes went off. I would say fun. I don't know.
Yeah, bikes have fun.
So,
Cars hang out.
bikes have fun.
Got it.
The car clubs and truck clubs kind of went this way, but then they branched off in so many sections.
I get that. And I
Kinda
mean,
like a big
I don't
tree.
guess all bikers have gangs and stuff. I guess there's a couple out there that just kind of like get together, ride around, have a good time.
Yeah, they all ride around and have a good time, but I guess there's serious
There's
parts
different
of it too.
good times.
Yeah, there's a lot different clubs, and that's okay. It's okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know that it's for me. That being said, like, maybe I just haven't been involved in it enough.
Listen, here's what we'll do. We got Showdown in the Valley coming up October.
Right.
I'm more than likely going to try my best to go to that show.
Okay.
I know some people that's in Negative Camber,
Okay.
Just Wine and all them. I know a lot of people in XL. Let's just hang around some of them and see how this
Yeah,
works.
but see, that's still mini truck guys. I'm not
Well, damn
getting
it.
the whole feel of the car club.
Well, I mean, we was at that car show this weekend with East River. You seen them just hanging out, having fun, eating,
Yeah, I mean, I give
enjoying.
you that. That's true.
Scaring people with snakes.
That's true. I mean, was that fun, Chad?
No, it wasn't fun.
I didn't think it was
They
fun.
scared me absolutely to death with a fake snake.
Lord, man, speak like that at such an event.
Don't scare me with snake. You won't hear profanity. I'm just saying. Something I seen on Facebook, and I don't really know. Like, I know my thoughts,
Okay.
and it's probably going to make everybody mad.
Ooh.
And I don't think anybody's going to agree with me. Maybe. But I seen this car posted, and it said, for sale, and it's talking all about it. These cars are starting to be the new hot rods.
Oh, God.
And it was it's a 2002, 2020, or 20. Good Lord, it's 2002.
Okay.
It's 2002
We've got that
Camaro.
figured out.
Yeah.
An
I don't know, it's like-
02 Camaro?
It's an 02 Camaro.
So we're talking like late last gen before they started doing the remake.
I think it's like right before they just kind of went
Yeah.
off the beaten
Yeah.
path. I think it was 02, 01,
Okay.
02, something like that. But hot rod, and I was thinking to myself, it's not really a hot rod. I don't even think it's close.
You don't think so?
So
I think
my
it's-
question is,
I think it's a rough looking car.
Where does the hot rods begin? Where does it end?
Ooh, no, I don't think you can. I don't think you can just draw a line in the sand like that. I don't. You know, a couple of years ago when Hellcat first came out, was that a hot rod?
No.
You don't think so? What would you classify it as then?
It's a muscle car.
Okay. So what are you giving hot rod? Like just that like touch of vintage?
Yeah. Clean body lines. Kind of nostalgic. Just, it's nothing like super new.
Well, Chad,
to me.
I know what you're calling it, but let me explain to you. There's kids that graduated that wasn't born when that car was made.
What?
That 02.
I know.
That child's 21 years old now. That car can drink.
Yeah.
That car can vote.
Man, it can. I'm still not calling it a hot rod. You know where I call a line? I call a line.
When there was more V6s made than V8s back then?
The end of the carburetors.
Ooh.
That's where I draw my line. So like the Fox bodies.
Can't do it.
He was kind of right there in the end. That's where I draw my line.
So like
everything 95 Mustang.
You're telling me
not a hot rod.
Like some of the 60s Corvettes wasn't hot rods?
No, I'm not saying that.
That like had a nice fuel injection on them?
Yeah, okay. So like, I'm saying from when they kind of quit.
So when they phased it out, period.
Phased out.
When exactly was that? I know when Chevrolet
done it. 80s.
Chevrolet done it in, I think it was 87. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure 87 was the last year of the square body.
That could be the Mustang.
But the first year of the injection. And if I'm wrong on that, somebody correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened with them. It was the same body style as 86, but they switched to the new Spider injection in 87, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, and see, I'm giving Mustang the leeway with the Fox body, so I think they quit in 93.
Okay.
With the Fox body.
Was it that new?
I think so. So I'm giving you a 93 leeway.
Okay.
Also with the Camaros, you know, I'm going to give you leeway with them up until, you know, the new IROC Z28s, which we was talking the other day.
We was.
Those cars are coming back and they're beginning to be super popular.
Well,
those cars are pretty awesome.
It's like the 94, 95 GT Mustangs.
I'm out. Like I'm drawing the line.
So at the end of the Fox body, Mustang died with you.
Yeah, it died.
Sorry, Matt Wolf.
It died a little bit. No, I mean it still came back, and it's a muscle at that point.
But it's not a hot rod.
It's not a hot rod. Like I hate to say it, and there's nothing bad with being a muscle car, not a hot rod. I just think, for me, my defined line is 93, roughly.
So 30 years ago.
Yeah. Now with the fuel injection on the old vets and stuff like that, you know, it's different. We're not getting into that. We're not even debating that.
We're not exactly sure what happened
because that was kind of cutting edge technology, whatever.
It was.
Now in a couple of years, I might change my mind and say, you know what? I think, you know, up until 96, 97, you know, now it's becoming hot rods.
So like all those like cars that was really like pushing, like what about like a Mercury Marauder? No.
I mean, I like them.
Like the mid 90s Impala SS's.
I mean, they're cool.
Like
muscle.
That's
what I consider it.
So the defining line for you from hot rod to muscle is carburetor or not.
Kinda. I mean,
that's pretty much where you've put that
because
line.
Here's the thing.
As long as it's not before they stop doing carburetors, because then if it's fuel injected, it's still a hot rod.
Here's the thing. Factory, you take that technology of, let's just say the 88 Mustang Fox body, whatever. The technology is way more advanced in the 96 Impala. Right?
Okay.
It's just way more advanced. But I don't think for a lot of people that even the Fox body is considered a hot rod. I think, you know, if you ask my dad or uncles, stuff like that.
I mean, you asked my
what's a
dad, hot
rod?
rod and stopped in the 70s.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't even think my Nova, it's a 63, is a hot rod. They
consider like roadsters and stuff
30s,
like that.
40s, 50s. That's your hot rods.
I guess.
To me, I think mine stops at 93. I understand antique.
God, as much as I don't want to agree with you, like the more I thought about it, we kind of fall into the same line here. I guess mine kind of stops at the ECU.
Okay.
Like when it got to the point where it was a guy with a laptop fooling with this car, then like a guy with a couple tools in his garage. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like to me, hot rodding is I can take this car from the factory and just with a little bit of what I know how to do and my hands, I can make it better. Mm-hmm. Like that's hot rodding to me. That's literally what they call it. Like you get out and you soup this thing up and you get out and raise a little hell with it. You're hot rodding that car. Like that's where that come from. So as much as I kind of thought I disagreed, I guess I kind of do agree with you.
And that's not to say like, the last couple of days I've been working on my truck. To say it's not hot rodding, yeah. I mean, all of us, I think, in the car community, has a little hot rodding in us. We like to tinker and stuff like that. Even if you got a new Hellcat or whatever, you're in the garage, you're tinkering with it, whatever. That's, I guess, the hot rodding down inside of us. My truck's not a hot rod. It's like an 02 GMC Sierra turbo, big truck, like forged internals and everything. It doesn't make it a hot rod. It's some kind of muscle truck. Like it's something you tinker around with and have fun and make all kinds of power.
I think one thing that kind of sucks for me is like just the art of building a motor. Like there's nowhere near as many people nowadays, even within the car community, that can build these newer motors the way the guys was building them 20, 30, 40 years ago. Like there's plenty of guys that know a lot about it, know about this turbo and that NOS injection and blah, blah, blah. But if you took half of those guys and was like, here's a stock motor, without adding a bunch of stuff to it, get me more power out of it. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's nowhere near as many guys that could do it, like, say, in the 80s or the 70s.
No. And to be honest with you, the art of the small block, big block, old school motors is a dying breed.
Absolutely.
It's super hard to find somebody.
It's dying harder than the car clubs are, Chad.
No, car clubs ain't dying. They're on rise.
But... yeah, I mean, nowadays
you can't find somebody to time your car. Like, it's a totally different process.
I mean, if you bring me a factory car now, maybe like Joe Begley would be better one to talk to about this. But a factory car, like, just for me, like, let's throw the laptop on it, tune it a little bit here, put a turbo and some NOS on it. Like, it wasn't like that, 30, 40 years ago. It was like, we're going to pull these heads, we're going to change this crank, we're going to do this and that, put this carb on it. Like, it just...
give me a Dremel, pull the heads off, we're going to pull the heads.
And maybe it's just because I don't know as much about these newer motors. It just don't seem as fun to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I had so much more fun with that Nova than if, like, you was trying to do that drag truck in your garage. Well, I mean, that's a prime example. Perfect example right there. The Nova we'd look at and be like, yeah, we did that. No problem. Mm-hmm. Drag truck shows up, Joey. Like, you know what I mean?
Here's the thing. Like, we had a hard time putting that motor in the Nova because it wasn't supposed to go in that.
Well, no, we had certain things that we was building that around. We didn't want to shave the firewall. We didn't want to lose the heater fan. We didn't want to change the front suspension. There's plenty of things we could have done to made that so much easier on us.
But it's so cool to put that motor, a 383 stroker, into a car that never had that. Didn't even have it back in the day. That's not an option for them early model Novas. And to get it in there, to get it to work with all the junk that's around it.
Yeah.
without changing and doing a smaller booster like you wanted to. And
I still suggest a smaller booster.
just all kinds of stuff, especially, the rockers and everything that it has to have the tall valve covers.
It has to. There's no way around that.
It just makes everything super tight. But kudos to the guys that's doing the new stuff, like Joey, and, all kinds of other people that's out there in the scene that's building these engines.
Yeah,
stuff. Because, I've been up there. I've helped Joey. I've worked on my truck and I've helped him. And that's a job.
Well, there's no room for anything.
There's no room.
Like, we complained about that motor in that Nova, and there's still a ton of room compared to some of these new cars.
Yeah.
Like, I look at it now, and, I could drop something, and it ain't going to the ground.
Well, I had the whole engine harness out of mine, and we converted it to a new style, other engine harness.
Right.
I'm like, what's this? Like,
and I
got this harness out of a junked, wrecked truck.
Yeah.
And we cut the gas pedal and stuff out of an old wrecked truck to convert everything on my truck. And I'm like, Lord, I'm lost. Like, I got the harness out of mine pretty good. Like, I still needed help here and there because I didn't know certain stuff was and everything else. And just a pain to get to because everything is tight.
Right.
But, somebody like Joey, he was sitting there looking at plugs like, oh yeah, this is blah blah blah, it goes to that sensor and this is that, and it needs to be.
Well, it's because he knows what he's doing. Like, not a knock on you, but he knows what he's doing.
Okay, but really, we only got 3 wires in this old school motor. Like, we just need a wire going to the starter.
We rewired that entire motor with a relay.
yeah, it's I don't know. They kind of had it easy back in the day.
Yeah.
Compared to now, but I think it was a whole lot funner.
But that being said, I don't know how many of these new guys could tear apart, rebuild, and tune a carburetor.
I know some people that can't even time an old car.
Yeah.
And, I'm one of them.
Well, I tell you what's crazy. When I was doing Brianna's Mustang, that was the first time I'd ever used a timing light. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd always done it by feel, by sound, by touch, all that stuff. Dad talked me into putting a timing light on it, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I just cut that in half. Like, no wonder y'all use these things. It's like, done.
Super easy.
So,
and now you see why my 9/16 wrench is bent.
Oh, yeah.
It's heated, bent.
Yeah.
Super easy to get that distributor. Bad thing is, that was the only 9/16 wrench I had. But
we're going to have to get you another wrench, buddy.
Yeah, eventually.
Maybe for Christmas.
Yeah, eventually.
I tell you, man, we're pushing almost 45 minutes on this one.
Yeah, that's good. So,
this was good talk.
Discussion.
I like that one.
I still like the whole car club thing on my end.
Not sold.
I'm telling you, we'll get you to Showdown in the Valley.
I'll come down there and hang out.
We'll let Kenny, Darryl, and everybody kind of show you the ropes on the XL Life, Negative Camber Life with Justin Wyatt and everybody. There's going to be a lot of lifted trucks. Maybe we can get some people involved there to tell us about the lifted
Raising
truck.
a little hell.
Lifted truck scene.
Yeah.
And, you kind of already know how the classic, they're a lot more laid back.
Yeah, they're,
They don't do the cookouts.
They're there to have a good day.
It's time to go home. And
I think there's still some guys in that community that get super tight with each other.
They are. It's a.
But I think that's more of a friendship built because of a car club.
It is.
Not a bond through a car club. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and tell you about some shows happening this weekend.
Oh, yeah, there's a few things coming up.
And then we'll let y'all go and we'll get on this next week. So this Saturday, we've got the Rock and Roll Weekend at Pipestem. It's 8 to 4. They've been doing this show forever. It's actually a really awesome location. It's a one-day event, but it's 8 to 4 this Saturday. Plenty of trophies.
I got to go down there last year, and there was a couple of cars I'd never seen before, never seen since.
Mm-hmm. There's quite a bit of people from the area that goes to that show, but where it's been going on so long, it's also a draw for a lot of these car clubs.
Yeah.
The Thunderbird Club of America and all this stuff. they'll have some cars make a travel to go here. And plus, it's super cool. Not going to lie. It's in Pipestem at the resort.
Right.
You can camp.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to do in the park.
There is. After that event, Saturday, the 26th, you've got the Hardee's and Sonic Cruise in on Stafford Drive, and that's from 5 to 9. It's always a pretty good turnout there.
There you got your Saturday cruise in.
There's your Saturday cruise in for everybody.
I mean, that's been going on for years too. I remember going to that when we was kids.
Mm-hmm. It's a good event. Like I say, I've seen it so big that it's kind of spread into other parking lots.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen it with 4 or 5 people there. You never know, but generally speaking, it's a pretty good little crowd. So if you're not doing anything, head on out to the Hardee's event.
Yep, definitely check them 2 things out. You'll meet some cool people. You'll see some cool cars.
And then Sunday, it's pretty rare that you have an event on Sunday.
Sunday show is different.
I love a Sunday show. I hate it as far as promoting it because you got work the next day.
So why do you like a Sunday show?
I don't know.
Just feels different.
It just feels a lot different. I just like it. And it might be because if you're doing them, you typically do them after church.
Right.
So you get to sleep in for a while and you're not stressed out
So
about
you're not there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
4 or 5 o'clock in the morning getting set up. You're 10, 11. And I don't know. Just always kind of enjoyed me doing them. But Sunday, the 27th, at the Lifeline Princeton Church of God area, they're having a back-to-school bash.
Okay.
We're going to have a lot of bounce houses, a lot of food truck vendors. I guess a lot of vendors going to happen there. But it is a car show / cruise-in. So I'm not sure if they're doing trophies or it's just like a cruise-in or it's a car show. But definitely going to be some cool cars there. I heard last year, I didn't get to go. I got to drive by on 460. And I was like, what's going on down there?
I remember
ended up finding out about it.
Yep, I remember seeing that.
They had a pretty good crowd last year.
Okay.
And some cars got out there after the show and kind of let it go. And yeah, kind of spin the wheels a little bit.
Anything get hit?
No.
Must not be Mustangs.
No Mustangs was hurt during last year's event. But no, like I say, it seemed like a good time. I know they're advertising the car show cruise in, so I don't know if there's trophies.
I don't know how you pull off a show / cruise in. Like, yeah. Maybe you don't have to register, but you can bring your car.
Yeah, maybe they're just like, we're giving out a couple trophies. Preacher loves this one. I like this one.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know how they do it. I've never been to that event.
So like money go to the church, I assume? Like,
I think
they're doing it for a certain thing at the church.
I would say that a lot of it's going to be free, except probably food and stuff. But I think it's just a good event to take the kiddos, family to.
Well, I mean that place always
kind of going back.
Always has events with like a good selection of kid stuff. Bounce houses, stuff like that. So I would assume their car show cruising ain't going to be any different. I'm sure the kids will love it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's stuff for the kids to kind of ooh and ah over, and I want to get that when I get older, which is what we all want in the car community.
Absolutely.
But, it also gives them a lot of stuff to have fun kind of doing stuff there as they make their way back on the school. So you've got that. And then Friday, which you'll be watching this on Friday, you got Elk Creek drag strip.
Yep.
I'm trying every way in the world to make that happen.
Not going to happen.
My son's got some soccer stuff going on, so man, I hate for him to miss the first one.
That's not an option.
It might be. I got to figure it out. I always figure stuff out.
Not an option.
I might not be going. But Saturday night, as Frankie kind of let the beans out of the bag,
I was going to hang out with lifted trucks and diesels.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's where they always are.
They're not this weekend. So Saturday night, around 8:30 or so, I wouldn't say Madness or the Shed podcast or anything. It's just kind of an open invite. We was kind of, I guess a bunch of friends was kind of just mutually talking and kind of came up with this maybe.
Okay.
We're going to have a kind of cruise in, but it's not. We're not putting a name on it. But it's going to be at the Schul's parking lot in Princeton, West Virginia, downtown Princeton, around 8 to 8:30. And there's going to be some killer drag cars out there, some race stuff. And I don't know what might be going on.
Oh, are we to that point now?
After?
Like, are we to that age?
What?
You know, our parents, they've got cool cruising nights.
Shut up.
And now at our age, we're back to the Schul's parking lot.
Back to the hanging out on the parking lot. So, I mean, that's where I grew up.
I avoided that place like the plague.
And that's what's wrong with you right now.
I'm not so sure it is.
I'm just saying, this weekend, you don't have nothing to do. I'll
Swing
give you a
on by.
list. But Saturday night, 8:30, bring your hot rod out, bring your race cars out.
So swing through Pipestem, stop at Hardee's, get your burger, run over to Schul's, look at a drag car.
You can.
It's not a bad Saturday night.
You can. 8:30, come on out. See some cool stuff, some really fast stuff I know is going to be out there.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of people that I've heard is going to be there. There's definitely some fast stuff going to be there.
Yeah, a bunch of 1,000+ horsepower vehicles. Make your way out. Just come hang out, whatever. It's open invite, but just something that a group of friends is trying to kind of do. And yeah, so I guess we'll catch you next Thursday. The truck will be done.
Hopefully.
Everything's done except my Nova, so we shouldn't have to.
We might
Pause the
have a
podcast.
new project coming soon.
Yeah,
Have
Frankie's
to catch up with you on that one
Frankie's
later.
trying to get something else. Since you spilled the beans, I'll tell you. It might be a truck. Okay?
Maybe.
All right. All right, we'll catch you guys next Thursday. Thanks.
Have a good one.